My name is TJ Polite. I live in Marin County, California. However, I go to Stewart Hall High School in the beautiful city of San Francisco. I could have chosen to attend a school closer to home where I wouldn't need to commute, but after I visited the unique campus, I knew Stewart Hall would be the perfect place for me. Full of kind-hearted, interesting young men and intelligent, selfless teachers, Stewart Hall is one of a kind. There are many reasons why my school is so great, but the primary reason is definitely because we are part of a network of 148 Sacred Heart schools, spanning 6 continents around the world. In the 1800s, a woman by the name of St. Madeleine Sophie Barra founded the Society of the Sacred Heart in France, dedicating her life to educating young men and women. All Sacred Heart schools were built upon 5 goals and their corresponding criteria. These 5 goals help our community to constantly improve and work to portray what students of a Catholic school should focus on throughout their lives. The goal that stands out and resonates with me the most is Goal 3. This goal states, "The schools of the Sacred Heart commit themselves to educate to a social awareness which impels to action." Over the past 4 years, I've done a lot of different types of service, but the most significant work I did was during spring break of 2012, when myself and 13 other students and 2 teacher chaperones embarked on a service learning trip to New Orleans. On this trip, we did many things as a group that followed the criteria of Goal 3, particularly the one stating that the school offers all its members opportunities for direct service and advocacy and instills a lifelong commitment to service. The primary purpose for our visit was to see the continued effects of the devastating Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and to serve the surrounding community in any way possible to clean up and rebuild. As a group, we worked to build a house through the St. Bernard Project, toured the 9th Ward, replaced hundreds of incandescent light bulbs with CFLs in dozens of homes and apartments in nearby neighborhoods, and visited our school's counterparts at the Academy of the Sacred Heart in New Orleans. Through reading the work of Rachel Naomi Remen this year, we know that serving is different from helping because helping is based on inequality. So we worked hard towards strictly serving the residents of New Orleans in need, rather than helping or fixing them, because we didn't want to make them feel like lesser people. The Schools of the Sacred Heart service trip to New Orleans in 2012 was a unique opportunity for both male and female students to become more aware of social inequality in the United States, learn to be stewards of the Earth's resources, and begin to understand that many people suffer from circumstances that they have no control over, and therefore require help from people like us. As I said before, Stewart Hall High School teaches respect for creation and prepares students to be stewards of the Earth's resources. One of my favorite quotes from reading William J. Byron says that, "The steward is a manager, not an owner." In an era of rising consciousness about our physical environment, our tradition is calling us to a sense of moral responsibility for the protection of our environment. We spent the first few days of our trip traveling to nearby neighborhoods and replacing incandescent light bulbs with CFLs. The reason we did this is because CFL bulbs use about 75% less energy than a traditional light bulb and last about 10 times longer than incandescent bulbs. In fact, it wouldn't be unusual for them to last 5 years, and even as long as 9 years, saving vast amounts of energy throughout that time. After this, we began working with the St. Bernard Project. This non-profit organization was created in March of 2006 to rebuild homes destroyed by Hurricane Katrina within the domain of the St. Bernard Parish. Together, we worked on 2 different houses, painting walls and installing drywall. As students of the Hall, we know that the school educates through critical consciousness that leads the total community to analyze and reflect on the values of society and to act for justice. We did this because as citizens of the earth, we are aware of the inherent rights each man and woman in this world is entitled to. Pope John Paul the 23rd's Pacem in Terris states these rights include the right to live, the right to bodily integrity, and to the means necessary for the proper development of life, particularly food, clothing, shelter, medical care, rest, and finally, the necessary social services. Every man has the right to shelter, but many of New Orleans residents had this right taken away from them in 2005 when Hurricane Katrina struck. Because of this, as able-bodied students of the Sacred Heart, we have a duty to serve these people in a respectful manner as stewards of the Earth's resources. By doing so, we act for justice and improve the lives of numerous families and residents of Louisiana. All in all, I'm lucky that Stewart Hall provided this incredible opportunity. I will never forget what we accomplished in New Orleans, and I know I will always care deeply for both my school and my classmates.